So in the last session, we have discussed about the information gathering techniques. So part of that, we have covered about the uh, Google Docking, and also we have covered how to gather the subdomains of the target and how to check for the different technologies. Okay, what all the technologies are running in each website, web servers, and also I've shown you how the Shodan.io and sensors will help us to identify the open ports and services which are running on the target. So next thing that we are going to discuss today is archive.org. Okay. So what is this archive.org? Okay, so we can also call this as a Wayback Machine. So this is a non-profit, organization, and their intention is to build a digital library. Okay, so what they do is whenever there is any changes in any website, so they capture a snapshot and they store in their database. So I mean, let's say if I wanted to check out uh, how was the website, maybe 5 years back or 10 years back, any website. So you can come to the Wayback Machine and you can give that web address. So it'll give you all the snapshots to you, okay, which are taken at the time of you know at that particular time. But you might be thinking how this can help an attacker or an ethical hacker, right? Yeah, I'll tell you. Uh, let's say there is some kind of a sensitive information, okay, which is being posted in the internet for a while and they have removed it. Or let's say there is some exploit, okay, which is being published by a security researcher in his blog, but after some time, due to some issue, let's say it was removed. Okay, so in such cases, you can just you know paste that URL over here in the Wayback Machine. It will give you, okay, what was the content, okay, what was the content which they have posted at the time. Okay, so to just give an example, let me open maybe Infosys. So you can take any web address over here. You can give any web address over here. It will tell you. So you can see. So there are so many snapshots for Infosys in the recent time. But let me say if I want to check out how was the Infosys in 2001. Okay, even this help us to understand how they have grown and what kind of a services they used to offer. Okay, maybe 20 years back, and who was the key persons working in the Infosys. Okay, and what is the contact details, etc., etc. So if I'm going 2001, you can see in the February 3, there is a snapshot. So if I click on this snapshot, I'll be able to see how was the website on that particular day. You can say this is how the website is. I can also go and visit maybe the contact details over here. Okay. Yeah, you can see I have the contact details and a couple of phone numbers and one email address over here. So I'll be able to see all the information which is posted at that time. Now, if you see, this is from the web.archive. Okay, I'm not directly visiting the website, right? So hope you have understand how this web archive will help us to identify or gather the removed content, which is basically an archived content from the internet, right? Uh, Yeah. So if you guys are clear, without any doubts, maybe we can go to the next one. So what is the next one is, let me take you to the exploit-db.com. So this is a place where uh, you know we'll get the publicly available exploits. Of course, you are aware that every vulnerability has an exploit also, but not always you will find the exploit in the internet until unless if it's public, right? So if you wanted to check, okay, if there is any exploit is available for a vulnerability, or if it is, so this is a platform basically where you can able to check the publicly available exploits. Okay, you can see in the recent days also some of the security researchers has submitted the various types of uh, vulnerabilities and exploits over here, right? You can see there is some remote code execution. It seems for the Wi-Fi mouse 1.7.8.5, and they have also given the application. So if someone is using this application and if they have this exploit code with them, okay, I think it is written in the Python. Yeah, you can see it is written in the Python, and they have also given, okay, how do you able to simulate it? I mean, they have used the Windows 10 Pro built 15063, and of course they have run this on the enterprise. Okay, and they have also given from where do you able to basically download this vulnerable software, and of course you can use this exploit code. It will give you the, yeah, of course, you can able to perform the remote code execution. So you can download the exploit from here. You can download the vulnerable web application from here. Similarly, whenever you identify any kind of a vulnerability, so you can come here and you can just use the options here. Right here you have the filter option. By applying the filter also you can search, or you can just go with the advanced option. Okay, so in the advanced option also, you can give the maybe CV number, port, platform, type, content, okay, which are there in the Metasploit, which are not there in the Metasploit. You can just go and perform your search. It's a database. I think it has more than 60,000 publicly available exploits for the various different versions. Uh, so you can just come and search here. Even if in case if you're using any kind of a vulnerability assessment tools, okay, maybe like Nessus and Qualys. So those tools also will tell you, okay, whether the exploit is available in the internet or not. If it is available in the internet, it will also tell you from which source, okay, it is available, maybe exploit.db or maybe something else, right? So yeah, you can visit this page, guys. Okay, you can also check it out. Uh, whenever you wanted to perform an exploitation for a specific vulnerability, and you can just come here and you can just you know check it out whether the exploit is available or not. So most of the exploits, like famous exploits required by the Metasploit. Metasploit is the one of the key tool for the exploitation. It is pre-installed in the Linux operating system. So in later upcoming sessions, okay, I'll also teaching you how do we use the Metasploit to run the exploit against the vulnerable target to gain the access to it. Yeah. Yeah, this is about the exploit-db.com. Okay, where you will get the publicly available exploits. Then moving to the next. Now let's spend some time on gathering the information about the employees, right? Uh, so of course, I am studying a Linux operating system. There is a tool called the Harvester. Okay, I'm just putting it in the chat. The Harvester. This is also an OSINT tool. Okay, open source intelligent gathering tool, which help us to gather the information from the various different sources, right? Various different search engines, I can say. So here you can also specify from where you know you would like to gather the information about the target. Uh, but yeah, uh, but here I am trying to gather the information about the employees. So what do you think the best source for gather details about the employees? What do you think, which is the best platform where we can get the relevant information? Yeah, guys. If you want to gather the employee details, okay, what do you think, which is the best platform? Okay, website, that's cool, right? Maybe if I go and visit the contact page, okay, or maybe if I go and check it out their blogs, okay, maybe I'll get to know their email addresses. And also uh, LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is also best platform because most of the professionals, they add their all information in the LinkedIn, right? So yeah, let me first use this tool. Okay, so let me just give the harvester, and let me just give hyphen hyphen help, because every tool has this help. Uh, by using help, let's understand the various options over here. So if you see here, we have the different sources from where it's gonna, gather the information. There are so many different sources. Okay, the tool supports, but as I'm specific to employee details, okay, and I'm thinking to just go with the LinkedIn as a data source. And this tool also supports for DNS lookup, um, to run the DNS queries. Uh, of course, okay. You can also use this DNS related options, but as of now, I'm just specific to employee details and employee email addresses. I'm just using the LinkedIn over here, and let me specify the target domain name by using the hyphen D. So let me just start the command. Okay, the harvester hyphen D. Okay, let me maybe just use wipro.com. So you can use anything. Okay, hyphen B, which is LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm gonna gather the employee details about the company called Wipro, right? So most of the people, they will mention that they are working, they have worked on LinkedIn, right? So this is gonna crawl like 500 results, up to 500 results, and it's gonna give us all the results for us, okay, with their names. Then later, by looking at their names, and you can simply go and connect with them, okay, personally, and gather the their email addresses, and where in which domain they are working, and what kind of a technologies they are using in that company. You can also start slowly build a relationship with them also, okay, using uh, the platform. So there is an exception. Okay, so let it run. Okay, it's just started searching now. So meanwhile, what we do is we'll go to another platform called hunter.io. So this hunter.io is basically help us to get the email addresses. Okay, I mean they crawl all over the internet to identify the employees. I mean, see. most of the people, when they give an emails to the employees, so what they do is they simply um, use it for the personal, use it for the personal also, right? I mean, the professional email addresses can be used many times for their personal work, and they just publish their uh, you know professional email addresses in the public places, and they use it in the public places. So that is also an advantage for an attacker. He can just simply crawl by using the maybe Google Docking, or maybe using such kind of tools. They get they gather all the email addresses. So if I type wipro.com, you can see there are 1370 email addresses, right? So you can see I got the email addresses as well over here, but I mean they are not giving the complete email addresses what it is. Okay, but they'll also give you the source, where they have published this. You can see they have published in some blog over here, and you know here also. See here also, right? Maybe if I go to this one, so let me just check what is his name. It's a Venkat and Reddy 6, right? Fine, Reddy 6. See, his name is Sandeep Reddy, and this is his email address which is published, and even I got his mobile phone. Okay, and I got couple of other email addresses as well. You can see the payroll section people, SAP project people, uh, etc., etc. So most of them are related to the Wipro. Even if I go to here, it says the account is suspended. That is not a problem, but you can see, right? And here also they said there is an email address, right? So I think it is the first one, Vince. Let's see. Yeah, you can see if I'm started searching with the @ symbol, right? I'm able to see their email addresses. You might be thinking why these email addresses are important to them, right? See, of course they can send phishing emails to them, right? By saying that, hey, with some kind of a creepy content, and they'll send you some kind of an attachments to them, some kind of a malicious links to them. If someone is going and clicking on it, of course the malwares will get downloaded into their system, and sometimes it can also leads to compromise the entire system, right? So this is too bad, right? This is very, very bad. Even I'll tell you, let's say, uh, okay, I got an email address over here, right? And let's say he's very active and he's using his uh, professional email address in the public places, and those website which he was using got breached. Maybe let's say if I'm going and checking in the howibeenpawned.com with his email address, and if I find any kind of red flags, okay, it seems to be good. But what about other ones? Maybe let's say if I'm using this, this is also seems to be good. Okay, most of them are seems to be good, but in worst cases, what will happen is here you'll be able to see that it's matching with some of the data breaches. Okay, in such cases, if the password and username or any other personal details are going out, it's very easy for them to reuse this information to get into their account. Okay. Uh, yeah. So let's go back to the harvester results and let's see. It didn't give any results. Why? I think it will take some time, guys. Okay, it will give the results for us with the names of the people. Even once we have the names, we can also guess it because every company has their own email policy, right? They give you the email addresses. Like if someone joins in Wipro, the pattern what they're using is this: first name dot last name. I mean, when you have the full names from the social networking platforms, attacker can also try to guess their professional email address by just putting a first name dot second name at the rate wipro.com. Even they can use some email verifiers. Do you know? We have something called email verifiers. Maybe email verifiers. Let me go to the handle itself. So here they will add that email address to check whether it is valid or not. After they guess it. Okay, let's say you got some names from the harvester tool, or maybe when you go and manually crawl it in the social networking platform, you got some names. Okay, so they guess it. Okay, they'll add the first name dot second name, and they'll also check it out, whether it is valid or not by using the email verifiers. Then they later use those email addresses to send, you know, again, of course, as we discussed, phishing emails, malicious links, malicious attachments, etc., etc. Right? So yeah, this is how we gather the email addresses of the employees by using the various tools. And the interesting part is there is another platform called pipl.com. What these people will do? They crawl all the social networking sites, including you can see Google Maps, LinkedIn, Instagram, mobile phones, etc., etc. All the different types of social networking platforms, and they map everything to the single profile. They map everything to a single profile. Maybe if we go to the product called people search. Okay? So they give you the details like this. You can see whenever you search with some person name, so they'll tell you the date of birth, age, email addresses, phone numbers, etc., etc. by looking at all the different types of social networking platforms. This is because the crawlers what they are using. Okay, but now they made it for paid. Okay, we cannot do any free searches because of course they have all the information. So why they will give it for free? So they are selling it now for the various different purposes, maybe for the investigation purpose, marketing purpose, and etc. etc. But this is true. Okay, maybe like 2 years back, I've also searched it. I got the relevant information, uh, you know, for the many people. So this is possible because most of the people they use the same name for all the social networking platforms, maybe LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, uh, you know, etc., etc. Because of that, for these crawlers, it's very easy to identify. Okay, he's only the same person. So they go and gather your date of birth information from the Facebook, uh, you know, date of year from the Insta, and the location where you live. Okay, from the Facebook, etc., etc. Okay, so they create our profile into their database. Okay, with all the publicly or published information. Okay, that's the reason we should not post any kind of sensitive information into the social networking sites, because they can use the same information to with us to perform some kind of other attacks. That is also possible, right? So this is about the PIPL, Hunter, email verifiers, and the you know the harvester. Still, it is going on. Uh, any questions, guys? So it says no users and email addresses are found. Are you guys also running this, guys? Just run this, okay? It will give you the result. Let me show you the results, how it will look like. Okay. Yeah, you can see here. So this is how basically the results will look like once you run the tool. Okay, you can see you have the full names over here, right? So by taking these names, they construct their email addresses and they'll go and visit, they contact in the different platforms to basically create a relationship. Then later they exploit it. Okay, that's a different story. Yeah. Uh, yep. This is about the harvester. So you can run this. It'll give you the results for you. But due to some reason, it is not giving for me. Need to check why. And okay. Next thing is, okay. Let me show you how to gather the email addresses when it is not exposed to the internet, right? Let's say I want to gather your email address. You are connected somewhere else to the uh, private network where I'm not directly able to uh, ping, or where I'm directly not having an access to it. So in such cases, what our attackers will be doing is they send a link. Okay, they send a malicious link by using a tool called IP loggers, or maybe Grabify, and they create a shortened URL. Okay, maybe if I'm you can see if I'm clicking on the, let's say, let me add a Facebook, and let me click on the tracking code, create a short link. Yep, you can see here they have created uh, a tracking code for us, and also uh, you know uh, there is a URL also, which they have given for us. So if I copy this URL and if I send it to uh, someone, and as soon as they clicks on it, it will redirect them to the facebook.com. Okay, that is so sure. But it is also gonna give us the information, okay, belongs to them, like where they are sitting, what kind of a device they are using, what's their IP address, what operating system and what browser they are using, and the longitude and latitude, and the ISP details as well. Okay, so I'm just putting this in the chat. Just go and click on it, just to see the results, how it is capturing it. Okay, cool, Imran. That's good to see your the harvester results, right? Yeah. So yeah, you can also go and just practice it. Okay, the other tools as well. And as soon as someone clicks on this link, okay, it'll redirect them to the Facebook, and here we'll be able to see all the information. Okay, so I want you to click the link just for the testing purpose, so that you will understand, you know, uh, you will understand not to click any link which you are receiving in the, the social networking platforms, maybe the instant chat messages like Facebook and WhatsApp. Uh, Nowadays, many links are coming, right? So we click on them, but of course we don't get anything once you click on it. But they gather our details. Sometimes it can also leads to compromise enter our system by injecting the malwares. Okay, so that is too bad. So whenever you feel there is a suspicious links, okay, which you are receiving it, you have to, you should not click them basically. Okay, you should not click them, right? They can also send some kind of a transparent images in the email to identify the IP addresses and other details. So you should not also open any spam emails, right? So this is how we gather the details, and I would like to give you another very famous framework, which is OSINT framework. So here you have bunch of OSINT resource tools, resources and tools, okay, for the various different categories. This is going to really help you to, you know, uh, uh, do the information gathering or to complete your day-to-day tasks when you're working as a security analyst. Uh, of course, this is very, very good OSINT framework. You can just go and have a look into it. Let me give you a couple of examples to you. Let's say if I'm talking about emails, okay, do you want to perform the email search? So here you have the so many tools to perform the email search. Okay, you can go to PIPL, you can use the Hunter, the one, okay, we used, and you can also use the Harvester. And similarly, you have like Infoga, there is a tool, and Mails Hunt, Skymem, and you have like so many different sources from you where you can able to gather the email addresses, not only one specific tool or one specific website. Okay, and how do we able to identify the common email formats of the various companies? Of course, again you have couple of resources over here. Similarly, how to verify whether the email address is valid or not? You have mail testers, verify mailer, okay, mail validator, mail reputation, etc. Okay, how to check the same email address is also present in any hacked breached database? If it is in the breached database, it's very easy for an attacker to go and gather the uh, compromised passwords, and he can also take the clear text passwords. Then later he use it to log into their account if in case if they are not changing the password, right? And you can also check the spam reputation. You can also check it whether it is in the blacklist kind of a thing, right? This is really a cool framework, guys. Okay, go and explore it. Similarly, you can also use it for other purposes, maybe for the domain names, okay, or maybe for the IP addresses, okay, etc., etc. Understand? Yeah, guys. Have any questions? So, of course, you can use this platform to gather as much as information about the target. So the things which we have discussed, till now is the passive information gathering, right? We looked at into the various different, sources to identify the information which is available to the public. Now we are actually next moving to the active information gathering. Okay, so when I say active information gathering, It is like directly communicating with the target and gathering the information. So how do we communicate with the target? So we communicate with the target through the network. I mean, we probe them. So uh, you should also have an understanding about the network, right? I mean, how the communication is happening from the my system to the target system. Okay. So to understand this, how the data is, basically transmitting from the one system to another system, we have the two, uh, data transmission models, right? One is the OSI, okay, open source and OSI, um, and TCP/IP. So these are the two, uh, data transmission modules. Like it has 7 different layers. So all the data will be traveling from these 7 layers. So yeah, I want you to go through this OS and TCP/IP model, okay, to understand how the data is getting transmitted from the one system to another system, and also we, uh, uh, you know, and also we communicate with the, one system to another system using an IP address, right? So you should also have an understanding of, the IP addresses, IP ranges, right? I mean, what is the private IP? Uh, what is the public IP, and different classes. Okay, from the class A, class B, class C, D, E. Like I can say IP classification, and we communicate with the, of course, uh, protocols, right? I mean, we have two major transport protocols like TCP and UDP. So in TCP, we have TCP flags, and before sending any communication, so it basically established a, a three-way handshake. So I want you to go through the TCP flags like SYN, AG, FIN, urgent, push, reset, and also uh, TCP three-way handshake. Okay, TCP connection establishment process, TCP connection termination process, and what flags are involved in it, like SYN, SYNAC, AG, is the TCP. I mean, I'll be explaining these all the things. You know, I'll be explaining this all this stuff. But before that, if you have some time, go through it so that whenever we discuss it, it's very easy for you to understand. If in case if you don't have the basic networking knowledge and basic protocols like FTP, SSH, Telnet, and SMTP, okay, NetBIOS, HTTP, HTTPS, SMB, okay, RDP, ARP, DHCP. Okay, you can just type most commonly used protocols. Uh, you will get to know. Like DNS. So these are some of the prerequisites, guys, before we start the active reconnaissance technique. I mean, we are gonna use a tool. We are gonna use a very famous tool called Nmap. It is already pre-installed in the Linux operating system. So with the help of the Nmap, we are going to learn, you know, the active, active reconnaissance. I mean, there are other tools also there. I'll be explaining you and showing you the other tools as well. But Nmap is the very best tool, I can say. What type of a hacker he is? He will start his active information gathering phase with the help of the Nmap. So, like as I said, every tool have the manual report. See, if I type Nmap, directly I'm calling it tool Nmap. But before Nmap, if you type man and enter, it will give you the manual report of the tool. Like what is this tool is about, and how do we use this tool, and what all the different options are there. Okay, you'll be having a whole bunch of the manual report over here. So you can also go through the manual report. You can also go through the Nmap manual report. So anyway, we are going to use this tomorrow. So for the same, I am going to perform the scans on only my internal systems. Okay, I'm not going to perform the scans on any public server. So I'm going to just perform the scans on my virtual system itself. Maybe I can start a Windows operating system or a Ubuntu operating system. So I'm going to learn everything in my internal network only, right? Until unless if you are good and if you understand what's happening, you don't fire up the scans anywhere outside. Okay, especially when you logged into your office. Okay, don't try to run the scans in the private network or especially in your office network, because that can easily flag saying that someone is performing the Nmap scans or reconnaissance attacks in the network. So they'll come back to you by looking at the IP address. Okay, this IP address belongs to uh, you know so and so person, and they'll write an email to you saying that, okay, why you guys have run the scans, give me the justification for the same, right? Okay, you might be telling them I am learning it, but that is not the right way, to learn it in the private network. Of course, you can create your lab network over here like this. You can start your Windows system, and you can start your Kali Linux operating system. Then you initiate the scans here itself, okay, to understand them. So if in case if you don't have any Windows system which is installed in your virtual box, I suggest you to go and install the Windows 7 or Windows 2008 or Windows 10, anything. Okay, anything is fine. You can just go and download the ISO file from the internet and start installing it. Okay, so of course, yeah, tomorrow we are going to learn this active reconnaissance techniques with the help of the Nmap. Okay, so yeah, guys, this is about the today's session. Okay, which I have planned. Let me know if you have any questions, or else I'll just simply wind up this session for today, and we'll connect tomorrow and we'll discuss about the Nmap part. Before that, I want you to go and complete and spend some time on the prerequisites that I have given in the chat. Okay, you want to share your screen? Yeah, cool. You can share your screen. Let me make you the presenter.
Okay.
Yeah, I've given the presenter rights to you. Now you can share your screen.
Okay. So actually,
Yeah.
I have installed all the applications.
Hmm.
See.
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
So I have installed Dimitri Cilia and everything,
Hmm.
but I don't know how to run them.
Okay. See, the way we have run the sublister, okay, the same way you have to run them. So if it is the first one, okay, Dimitri. So first exit from this code, okay, you have given some code. Just give Control C or Control Z. Exit.
Okay.
Okay. So Dimitri is already pre-installed in the Linux operating system. Okay,
Okay.
but no problem if you are already installed it. Just
Okay.
call Dimitri. Just write Dimitri. No, don't write CD etc. Just write Dimitri
Okay.
and okay. So you have all the options to use it. Let's say you want to use this Dimitri for identifying the subdomains and possible email addresses. So what is the option there you have? Perform a search for a possible subdomains is a hyphen small s, and perform a possible search for the email addresses, which is hyphen e, right?
Okay.
Now you can write Dimitri hyphen small s and small e. And how do we specify the target? So we need to check it out. So where is the target specification? I think they have not given any target specification. You can just simply give the host name. You can see the syntax over there. Dimitri hyphen WINSEPFB. I mean, they have combined everything. You can just give target name. Okay. No, no, no. You can give some domain name over there.
Okay.
Certifiedhacker.com. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Enter. So I started searching for all the subdomains and email addresses of the target domain using the Dimitri.
Okay. So can we
So it's searching in the Google.
we should
Yeah.
run all these in the same way?
Similar way, you will be having a help option for every tool. Okay,
Oh,
maybe it is a sublister, or maybe it is a Scylla. Uh, every tool you have the manual report and the help option. So that is the best friend. I can suggest to go through the help, and you can check it out. What actions you want to perform, and you can choose the uh, you know uh, you can choose the options from there and start using it.
okay. Good.
Because there are a whole bunch of tools which we use it in our regular life. So it's not something that's very easy to remember each and every commands, right? So help
Yes,
is the
yes.
best friend. Okay, you can use the help or you can use the manual report and then you can start using them,
Okay. Okay. Clear, sir.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
clear.